Hello, my name is Frank. And this is Really Frank News. Let's get to it. It's Sunday, July 1st, 7 p.m. As I'm making this video, it's about a top news story I'm looking at on my computer. Let's take a look. As you can see here, the top news is Trump's deadline for the Supreme Court of the United States announcement looms. Sounds pretty terrifying. If we move over here, another article says, child's birthday party targeted in Idaho stabbing spree. You could miss this if you were just looking for the top news story. So what is this about? Let's take a look. First, let's take a look at this guy here. Meet Timmy Kinner, age 30, from Los Angeles, California. He's a real sweetheart. He likes stabbing little children at birthday parties. That's right, Timmy here attacked a 3-year-old girl's birthday party, stabbing children from 4 years old to 12 years old. Why is this not a top news story? Is it because this guy is certainly not a Trump supporter? Is it because these children, some of who are apparently immigrants, but they are not separated from their family? They make sure to point out that Mr. Kinner is not a refugee. Is it because no guns were used to shoot these little kids? This is truly a horrific story. The Boise police officer you are about to hear could barely keep his composure while doing the briefing.
The tragedy was that a 3-year-old little girl was having a birthday party just a few doors down from where Kenny had been staying, targeting the children initially. The 3-year-old girl, whose birthday it was one of those seriously injured, including 2 4-year-olds, a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 12-year-old, along with 3 adults who tried to intercede to prevent the loss of lives of the children. Our victims are some of the newest members of our community. They're victims from their past homes who have fled violence from Syria, Iraq, and Ethiopia. Our suspect is a man with an extensive criminal record spanning multiple states, who has spent time in prison and whose past criminal violations do include violence against others. He's not from Boise. The crime scene, the faces of the parents struggling, the tears coming down their faces, the faces of the children in the hospital beds will be something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life, as will every first responder that was there last night. To the first responder, this was an attack against those who are most vulnerable, our children. It's untenable, unconscionable, and is pure evil in my mind. But I do. So we have no specific evidence at this time to believe that it was a hate crime based on the specific evidence we have in our hands. However, due to the nature, location, and the victims, we are, of course, investigating all potential leads which might lead us to that conclusion.
Do we know if the victim...
While our whole Justice Department, FBI, our police departments, judicial bodies, are spending their time trying to figure out how to unseat a president, no one is watching the mentally ill, or the just plain bad guys. As a matter of fact, protecting them, with such things as sanctuary cities, might be leading the nutballs to think there are no consequences for their actions. I don't know. This happened Saturday. It's now Sunday evening, nothing on the Drudge Report, so that says no major news outlets have picked up the story yet. So the question needs to be asked, where is the outrage over these little immigrant children being sliced up by a madman? It seems that immigrant children are only special if Donald Trump can be blamed for their misfortune. Maybe Mr. Kinner is a refugee after all. A refugee from the system, a system that today seems to protect criminals, while attacking those that are actually trying to make things better for Americans. If the media would concentrate more on stories like this, we might all come together and try to solve the problem.